What do you think majority of coffee brands in India stand for? Like, jitne bhi are top outlets, they stand for the space, people to meet, cafe business.
Cafe and
Right.
networking. True coffee lovers are few, but that transition is happening very fast. So while we are making coffee good, we are also making good coffee easy.
2017 से मैं सुन रहा हूँ that workout से पहले pre-workout में black coffee ले लो. There is a category out there which is booming, and I have taken that category.
Yeah. The problem is when people take 10-15 shots of espresso in a day, or 7-8 cups like this, then you are just neutralizing all the good effects of
Yeah, true. The caffeine capsules.
Yeah.
What was your insight or learning out of the crowd? Why do you think coffee has not been associated with sports very heavily? Like why can't I see cult के बाहर एक लगा हुआ है कि I can take a shot and just go and do my workout?
Forget about one outlet. If today I decide I will not grow at all, and I just want to do sustainability, I can do that in 3 months. In 3 months, I will start generating 10 lakh profit from this venture.
What does coffee as a category stand for according to you? ठीक है. My understanding about you specifically is you're passionate about product. You're passionate about the category in very specific terms. You understand the nitty-gritties, the ops of it, the supply chain of it, and everything. Help me understand, what does coffee as a category stand for according to you?
Yeah.
So for an example, let's say for me, it stands for sports, anything to do with movement. If I have to associate coffee for me personally, it has to do with any kind of movement. It can be movement in life, movement in career, movement in physical, sports and everything. I have stopped associating coffee with any relationship and dating that cafe coffee day used to associate at one point of time.
Yeah.
And maybe that could be a phase of life difference. Could be.
Correct.
What is it for you that you look from it as a product person and a business person, and both can be separate or can be the same?
Correct. So, I think in our mind as Kruti Coffee or me individually, it's very clear that we are a subset of coffee, not just the entire universe of coffee. We are specialty coffee, right?
Interesting. So coffee mein explain kar lena kya universe hai, and then we will.
So universally, coffee represents a lot of things, right? It represents instant coffee. It represents a lot of coffee-based drinks, which essentially have very little coffee. Like cold coffee is hardly having coffee, right? It's mostly ice cream, lot of sweetness and everything. So then the context changes, right? The moment you are into the instant coffee space, it's about convenience. It's about mass, right? But mass is always going to have its own value when it comes to the nuanced flavors, etc. It doesn't stay there, right? The quality is very different. The whole segment is different. I'm not saying it's an inferior or a superior segment, but then we are not targeting that segment, which is looking at just like instant coffee to have coffee and then add a lot of milk and sugar to make it tasty and finish your coffee journey, which people have been doing for ages in India, if you know, or other countries as well. I'm not saying that instant coffee is not an India phenomenon only. Most of the world still takes instant coffee.
Right.
But there is this niche which is gravitating towards value-based coffee, you know, like it's a nuanced coffee. It's like the single malt whiskey, if I can put it. So you're happy to have that finer experience of life.
Right.
That's the segment we are catering to. But having said that, that segment also needs to have a simplified journey with coffee. It should not be a very complex journey. So while we are making coffee good, we are also making good coffee easy through our drip bags or capsules or whatever you call it.
Right.
But of course, the classic specialty coffee drinker would still love to make their coffee themselves.
Right.
You know, like they have their hand grinder, they have their small brewing equipment, first thing in the morning or second thing, third thing in the morning. Or say, for example, it's a founder who is going for a pitch or a very important CEO decision. It's a little meditative, if I can put it. And then you go with a clarity and also alertness. And recently, there is enough research to also establish the correlationship between coffee and workout. Because it keeps you alert, you work out better,
Right.
but it also builds better body mass.
Right.
And there is a medical correlation.
Right. I think in this department, fitness influencers have done a phenomenal job.
Correct.
I think even before I had any idea about what a specialty coffee is or anything. 2017 से मैं सुन रहा हूँ that workout से पहले pre-workout में black coffee ले लो, one shot and just go. For some odd reason, maybe brands were not able to capitalize on that particular.
For me, that was an interesting space because last year I was called to speak at a fitness event. Asia EduFit in Delhi.
Interesting.
And being a medical person, I cannot just go say claim something unless and until I have looked at some research, right? So I myself had no understanding what was the correlationship, even though people have been speaking about. So I did do some research, secondary research, and I found out that there is a direct correlationship in not only improving your alertness and the quality of your exercise, but also the body mass, the muscle mass build up and retention. Both has a positive correlationship. So we are bringing out something, a product dedicated for that space.
Dedicated for that space. So it will have a higher caffeine percentage or what?
And an easy one also. So
because there is a category out there which is booming, and I have taken that category.
Yeah.
The caffeine capsules.
Yeah.
So I was doing this experiment, and I'm a big nerd in body science, so I keep on doing these random experiments. I wanted to check if I increase the caffeine percentage and go non-coffee, because I was of this thought कि okay, morning में coffee पीऊंगा तो acidity
right
and all. Used to take those capsules and see what is the difference. I missed the flavor. I missed the...
it's like making it too regimental.
Correct,
then you're becoming like robotic.
Correct.
I would say enjoy your coffee. And coffee is very good, doesn't cause acidity. But anything in life should be done in moderation, right? The problem is when people take 10-15 shots of espresso in a day, or 7-8 cups like this, then you are just neutralizing all the good effects of
true. So I come from advertising agency background and building one right now. I initially, while doing my research and figuring out which business model to build and all, I went into the largest advertising agencies of the world, jinka India office hai. 500-seater, 700-seater, full building, 2,000 people and all. The amount of coffee that a per person drinks in advertising is exactly what you're saying, is 8 to 9.
Yeah.
It's crazy wahan pe. Matlab, and it's a... So you go to Bombay and Bangalore and you talk to any advertising person, they will be like, यार बहुत stress वाला job है, दिन में 9 shots coffee चल रहा होता है. It's a very... they have over abused it or abused it on another level. And I think interestingly wahan pe I have seen more cafe coffee day machines. I don't know what is the price point in all the offices specifically, और कोई brand देखा नहीं है. And in the last 2 years, however, they are being replaced by hybrid machines, which is chai plus coffee. ये एक interesting movement अभी चालू हुआ है, which I was not noticing primarily, कि category को जाके थोड़ा attack कर रहा है chai and all. What is your
thought? It's the other way around actually. If you see, mostly if you see, offices used to have those pre-mixed machines, right? You press tea, you press coffee. Those were more prominent earlier. Now offices are having coffee machines. So
which is the capsule ones or what?
Capsules are new in India, I can say, but abroad, I used to live in Hong Kong. Most of the offices will have a capsule machine.
Is capsule category rising faster?
It's rising in India.
Because of convenience? Or?
Because of convenience. But it has some challenges as well. Maybe we can drill into it later. But I would say that the transition has happened from those pre-mixed machine to vending machines. Of course, few players have dominant presence in India, so obviously you see them more. But that transition is happening. But the good thing is there are also offices, especially people like you who would be having an office, etc. You might have an espresso machine. Because I have seen many offices, people love to take out their espresso shots. It's a little bit of engagement, right? And let's imagine you and I are chatting and we are taking an espresso shot out. It makes it more helpful to engage and stuff like that. But very few have it, and I'm not expecting that to happen. But more bean to cup machines are coming. You know, like where bean is just put at the top. The machines are
automatically it grinds and
it grinds and then it gives you a good shot. So that's
fully automated generally.
Fully automated, except for the fact that semi-automatic is also there. Depends on what people want. You know, some people still want just the grind to come through the machine. Then they want to take and put a filter into the chamber and get their own coffee. So many machines are available. So
but still so if I connect just two chain of thoughts, number one is the fitness thought that you were saying, and it was interesting, and honestly feel very proud and also interested that a coffee founder is being called to a fitness forum or whatever What was your insight or learning out of the crowd? Why do you think coffee has not been associated with sports very heavily? Like why can't I see cult के बाहर एक लगा हुआ है कि I can take a shot and just go and do my workout?
I would say many players haven't looked at the potential.
Right.
Otherwise, no reason. There is absolutely no reason for coffee players not to target that space. And I would be surprised if that doesn't happen in the next 1 year. You'll find a lot of people targeting that. Yeah.
There is a cult in Bhubaneswar, right?
Yeah. But you'll find a lot of coffee players targeting the fitness space.
Do you think I can? Okay, just got a random idea. Do you think I can put one more floor right above this and make a fitness chain out of it? So it's a coffee plus fitness, or put my cafe inside a fitness chain.
Very interesting observation, because if you go to our IFC Cafe Village, at the top of it is a gym.
It's a gym.
Okay.
It's your gym or someone?
No, it's somebody else.
Somebody else.
But most of the gym goers have quickly become our customers. I can see a correlation between people going to gym and their affinity for coffee.
And do you see वहाँ पे grilled chicken का sales is higher than anything else?
Yeah, some sort of correlation, yes.
So which means, would you like to change the menu there slightly? And
in fact, if you have seen our menu, we have a lot of healthy focus.
How are you able to make people aware that, okay, we have a new thing called Nitro Brew and you should try?
No, but people know that we have this stuff. Basically, Kruti Coffee is like a little bit of an underground concept, right?
Yeah, it is.
You know about it, but essentially, unless and until you are a Kruti Coffee person, you don't know about it.
Yeah.
So, I'm aggressively but I'm happy with that. You know, like at least, but we'll do aggressive thing once we get money. I can't survive without it.
Right.
So for otherwise, then you can't also give them the proper service. Building a team is a very difficult challenge in Odisha.
Do you think a large coffee business can be bootstrapped? And you can completely build bootstrap? No. Why is that?
Unless and until you are Mukesh Ambani's son or somebody's son.
Why is that? Why can't I open just one outlet? Nothing else. Make it fully profitable. Rotate that cash.
Gotte outlet ko profitable बहुत easily करियो. For example, forget about one outlet. If today I decide I will not grow at all, and I just want to do sustainability, I can do that in 3 months. In 3 months, I will start generating 10 lakh profit from this venture.
Right. And from the GP margins, gross profit margins, just one outlet, 20-30%, is it fair to assume?
20%.
20%. So which means you can keep on rotating that 20% cash and keep on building.
But बहुत time लगेगा ना.
Right.
तो वर्षको 1.8 crore करचो.
Right.
20% केते हैला 36 लगे तादर कोनटा करियो. दिदी वर्ष तो रखी क्या उड़े कैफे खोले पड़ेगा.
Got it.
So it doesn't work.
Got it. And it is so competitive that if you don't grow faster, someone else will
you are ceding the space, na? Mane, now I have the expertise which is global standard, right?
Right.
Because I'm exposed to the best.
What do you think majority of coffee brands in India stand for? Like, jitne bhi are top outlets, they stand for the space, people to meet.
Cafe.
Just cafe business.
Cafe and networking.
Right.
Instagram content. True coffee lovers are few, but that transition is happening very fast.